A very, very good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this very exciting and very special Facebook Live today. We have some awesome guests here today, and we're here to talk about the book India to the Rescue. So, if you're watching and if you're a child, do drop a yay or a jai hind in the comments so we'll know you're watching us. I'd like to introduce my guests today. We have the author with us, Shruthi Rao. She's joining us all the way from California. Welcome, Shruti. Thank you for being here with us. We also have Lieutenant General Vineet Bhatia sir here. He's taken time out to join us and he features in the book. And we'll be having a conversation with him and sharing some very exciting pictures. So don't go away in a hurry. We also have our very own Mukti auntie who will be doing a dramatic storytelling during this live from the book. So, are you excited to learn about Mission Impossible in the Maldives? I know I love the book absolutely. Oh, let me not forget, children. The publisher, Juggernaut India, has agreed to give away 5 copies of this book. And we'll be asking you questions throughout the live. So if you answer correctly, you can win the book. Are you ready? Can I hear some hey and yay and jai hind? Great. So I'm going to start right away with questions for Shruti. Shruthi Rao is the author of the book and she's a children's writer who has authored over 10 books. Good evening, Shruti, and welcome.
Hi, Upasana. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Shruti. Tell me, Shruti, what made you want to tell this story to children?
It was very simple. I was asked to write this. So the publishers approached me and asked if I would be willing to adapt this story for young ones. I had a look at the story and it was so immensely exciting. It was better than any fictional story, and and it really excited me. And I wanted to share it with as many people as I could, and so I immediately said yes.
That's wonderful. That's really very wonderful to hear. What was your process, Shruti, in adapting the book? Since you know the original is very dense with details and it was written for adults.
Yeah, the original by Sushant Singh was full of extremely interesting details. But as I read through it, I realized that if a child had to read it, it it would need a lot of cutting out of um, many details. So at every point, I had to kind of read it and say, okay, would a child be interested in it, and would a child understand it? So I had to take out all the extraneous details and yet retain the actual thread, and at the same time it should not take away from the actual adventure and the excitement. So I had to kind of read it a number of times, one pass, and then take out some details, one pass, add a little bit of dialogue, another pass, and so on and so on. So I read it so many times that the characters became a
Like,
part of my life, which is why Lieutenant General Bhatia being here is so exciting for me, and I'm so honored.
thank you. Thank you, Shruti. Thank you, sir, for joining us, really. I was just going to say that you're talking about the characters and we have him in real life here. So, children, if you go to page 17, you'll read this line. It says, out of the blue, Major Vinod Bhatia of the Para Brigade got an urgent call from one of the officers at the South Block meeting. And we have with us none other than Lieutenant General Vinod Bhatia, retired. So here he is. And thank you, sir, so much for joining us. Please do tell us a little bit, sir, in your words, the most invigorating bit about the mission.
Thank you, Pasna. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity. Jai Hind to everyone. Shruti, thank you very much. I think you have captured the essence of the operations. I was, fully involved, and I can recount every detail of it. But having read and been part of Sushant's book, I really relate to what you have written. It so simply captured the complete essence, the adventure, the feelings. Thank you very much indeed. I think no one could have done it better, and you have done a wonderful job. Uh,
Wow,
uh,
I'm so honored. Thank you so much.
honestly, I say that from the, as a true soldier, I shoot straight. I don't make any bones about it. Uh, let me give you a sort of a feel of this operation. This is, like as we have the children out here, the mothers. It's something like, you're studying class 8th, 9th, and you go to school on the first day, uh, looking at, connecting with your friends, excitement, and suddenly, you reach the school, and they tell you, okay, today you have board exams. So that is the challenge. That, we were not prepared for it. We did not know anything about anything. We were leading a routine sort of a military life in a cantonment at Agra. Though the para brigade is known to do, come out of the blue and do a number of things. We are the reserve, but the fact remains that that day we are totally unprepared for something like Maldives, because Sri Lanka was there. And when we are asked to execute a mission, nothing mattered but the mission. And the mission was a very delicate one, uh, trying to rescue the duly elected president of Maldives, which is a neighboring country. And we did not know Maldives was. Those are the days when, Mother Google was not there. We didn't have anyone to look up to. Uh, we just didn't know when it was like, examined every question out of the syllabus. So
Wow.
that is something I'm sure you can relate to. Each and every question out of the syllabus, we did not even know what was what. But then, yes, the mission was important, and we thought that we have to do it. We had a self belief. We were very sure that our self belief is carried us through our training, our attitude, and the army is very good, and the air force is very good, and we have this great regiment of ours, the parachute regiment, and it says, "Who dares wins." So we did that day, and we are fortunate we won. And I'm here to tell the story. I wouldn't have been here today.
That's lovely. So I've been sharing pictures while some of the pictures you sent me. So I shared the one of you on the beach, and now I've shared the one of everyone with the berets. So everybody's seeing those pictures as well as you talk to us. So I think that's really lovely for you to share all this with us. Tell me, sir, this mission received a lot of great international coverage. In fact, I got to know this only when I spoke with you. And can you believe it, everybody? It was on the cover of Time magazine, which is, I think, a huge thing in 1989. So, can you tell us, sir, how this mission was lauded as one of the best 10 operations by military specialists?
Yeah, I think it's a very proud moment, and I'm very proud to be part of it. Uh, what had happened was, Maldives is a very small nation. It is about 1,190 islands, and the capital city is the city Maldives. Beautiful. If you can convince your parents after the corona to take you there, you should. And it's a very beautiful country. Lovely people out there. But then there were problems, and there was a coup. Coup means you take over an elected government, and some of the miscreants had taken over the government on the morning of the third, and the Maldives president went to a hiding. He was a duly elected president, and they sought help or intervention from United States, from then Soviet Union, which is Russia now, basically Soviet Union, also from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and India. India was the only nation which said yes to it. That time, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi was there. He received the call, and he said, "Okay, we will go and help out our neighbors." We have to understand that we are India. We're a very big nation. We are a risen nation, a responsible nation. peace and security is very important. The decision was taken to help out the president and rescue him. So the
Right.
mission given to us was to, you know, to go and rescue the president and bring him back to India.
Wow.
And this is from, look at it, like I said, you are there for you just get up in the morning. It's a normal working day for you. You go to the office, and suddenly everything falls in your head. And I was the unfortunate one to receive the orders.
Wow.
And I was a major sub that time. A major means I was about 36, 37 years old. And
Right.
that's the time. And I thought I could conquer the world all alone. Youth has its flavors. Unlike,
Absolutely.
I'm an old man now,
No,
but
sir.
you have, yeah. The children have to believe in yourself. You should be able to do whatever you want to do, and you have the power to do what you want to do. So when I got a call, and he said, "As the vice chief of the army staff," I said, "Vice chief, vice chief of the army staff is very, very big. It's just too big to speaking to a small major." I thought it must be someone else. So then he said, "I'm General Rodrigues." Then I actually literally stood up on my chair, that sort of a thing. But to cut a long story short, we are paratroopers. We were supposed to jump and capture the airfield, land the troops at Halule, or land at Male. Male is very small, and thereafter, yes, that is what it is. You're on the right. You see that is a Halule strip, and all of you who have been, landing in an aircraft, this strip is 46 meters wide at the southern end, at the end which you're seeing, just 46 meters wide. And when you land, this the you know the on the high tide, the waves are coming out of the runway. So it's very interesting. And thereafter, we go to Male, rescue the president. We did not know who the president was, where he was. But then we had a great leader in Brigadier Balsara, who was the commander that time, and he was a go-getter. He said, Vinod and others, we just do it. And I don't know what must have gone through his mind, risking the lives of about 300 of us, the aircraft. And not only that, risking the very, uh, you know, uh, the nation's name, the army's name, the name of the para brigade. So that is a risk involved, because for us, failure was not an option.
Correct.
Failure was not an
Lovely.
option.
That's
But
lovely, sir.
success was not a probability.
Wow, that's lovely. So, children, I have my first pop quiz question for you. After hearing so much from sir, would you like to win a copy of this book? Tell me, we talked about a place called Male, okay, where the book is set. So, what's the full name of Male? Quickly type it and tell us. Till then, I'll ask Shruti some questions. Anybody knows the answer? Please feel free to type it in the comments. Shruti, I know you must have done a lot of research for this book. So tell me, how did you do it? And did you work alone or were you with a team? What did you find most exciting? What were the new things you discovered while doing research for this book?
So I'm a layperson. I have no connection with the army, and I haven't read much other than what the ordinary person knows. So every part of it was a revelation for me. The fact that a section called paratroopers exist, and that completely captured my imagination. I watched a lot of videos online, parachutes and paratroopers, and then all the ships and the aircraft and the weapons, everything was news. So I kept going online and looking at websites and videos, and um, for a month or so, it was my entire life. So I
Wow.
realized how exciting it must be to actually be in the army. I mean, I know it has a lot of challenges, but for me, sitting at home safely and looking at looking at all that was absolutely enjoyable. But I think the thing that most excited me was the parachutes and the paratroopers. Something about it really
Visually
captured
also
my
it's
mind.
so beautiful, right? So
Yes,
it's
yes,
lovely. So I have
yeah.
another question. While I was reading the book, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. Um, there was a section that said some very cool airplanes, and it said about a carrier IL-76S, and it says, but militaries around the world adapted them for other uses too, including, hold your breath, to refuel aircraft mid-air. So, Shruti, have you ever seen this happen?
I have seen videos, like I said,
Sir, can
but
you
no.
tell us a little bit about this, sir? My eyes were like this, and I went and told my daughter, "Did you know such a thing exists?" And a little bit more about that same aircraft. It's called Gajaraj. And to stick to the Gajaraj theme, a Gajaraj aircraft can carry about 20 elephants. So, kids, can you imagine how huge it must be? So, please tell us a little bit about Gajaraj.
Gajaraj is a massive aircraft. It's like when you enter the aircraft, like a football field, and it can carry about 42 tons of payload. It can carry 90 tons of fuel, which is very big, and it can travel. The aircraft you travel by passenger aircraft, they carry load, but 42 tons is carrying tanks. And we jump from these aircraft. It's got a 4-door exit, so we jump all together. 26 paratroopers can jump from one of them. And also, we drop tanks from this aircraft. So
Oh,
18-ton
wow.
tanks from the aircraft.
Just
Vehicles,
drop the tank
uh,
out of the
yeah,
aircraft.
from the
Wow.
tanks. And when it lands, and if you are standing behind the aircraft, you can go about 100 feet. You're going to be thrown away by the back blast of the thrust. It's a fantastic aircraft. I'm in love with this aircraft. I've done the number of jumps, uh, uh, and it can do air refueling. It's air-to-air refueler. The fuel it carries 90 tons. So when the fighters have to extend their range, it takes out the thing and then retracts it, and it fuels the aircraft in the air. It's like
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay, that is fascinating indeed.
it's a mid-air refueler, as we call it. It is multiple. It can do multiple. It's a very versatile aircraft.
Okay. Wow, that is so fascinating. That is so fascinating indeed. Um, Shruti, tell me, who was your favorite character in the story and why when you read the story?
Oh, that's so hard. That's like that's very hard. I think I have a soft spot for everybody for different reasons. Um,
I don't blame you, Shruti, because it's such
yeah,
a fascinating story.
yeah. I'm sorry, I can't answer this
That's
question.
okay. Please don't be sorry. That's absolutely okay. Uh, sir, when I spoke to you, you had mentioned that this mission, sir, can you hear me? Okay, I think maybe, sir, can you
Yes,
hear?
I.
Yeah, okay. So when I
Yes, I.
spoke with you, you had mentioned that this mission was achieved without any casualties or delays. So that I think is really commendable. What would be, according to you, sir, the reasons for this?
Thank you. I think the key question is the costs and costs in life, basically. So we achieved this mission within 16 hours. Am I audible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Within
Yes, sir.
16 hours of the first indication of an operation, about 3,500 kilometer base, we would have, I still recollect, I had the code word with me. And when we saw the lights and the code word we got, uh, I went to my commander, Brigadier Bulsara, and he's the hero of he is the real hero actually, and I intend writing more about him. To that there should be no doubts. And I asked him, it's a decision time, and he said, we land. And he told Group Captain Bevur, the pilot of the aircraft, he said, we land. That was the most difficult decision because even if someone had placed a cycle or a jeep on the runway, we would all have been, not been here today. So the leadership qualities of him, that's I think one of the most difficult decisions which he took. So I would say that he is the real hero. So all of us played a part in that particular thing. And we have to understand that these are not easy things; these are very difficult things to do. You can sit in a room today and talk about it, but when it was happening, we were really running around doing everything what we had to do, briefing our men, getting things ready, and of course, I must also tell you the gods were on our side. All the gods were on our side. We were very lucky that day. Other most of would have been into the sea, into the ocean.
So, sir, I have two questions with you. People are not leaving Gajaraj. Jayashri says, awesome Gajaraj. So she's very happy to hear about that. And Vidushi wants to know, how can we drop tanks from an aircraft? So this must be a child who's asking a question. So can you share? Because the thought of a tank dropping midair is really like, I wish we had a video to show Vidushi, but maybe you should read the book. Sir, can you tell us a little bit more about how you drop tanks from the Gajaraj? Sir, are you able to hear me? You can't hear me?
I can't get the audio, man.
Okay, now can you hear me, sir? Okay, I think maybe I'll come back to that question. So let me give you a pop quiz question. In the book, there's a reference to Dhoni's. Who can tell me details of that? One word, just one word in the comments I need about Dhoni's. And then you can win a copy of this book. So let's hear from you, children. Tell me, what do you think it is? By the way, Vidushi is the one who won the question about Male. She answered correctly. Sir, can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, sir, Vidushi wants to know that how can you drop tanks out of an aircraft? So, if you can just tell us a little bit more about it.
It's a we put it on a platform, and the platform takes some packing to do. It takes about 5 to 7 days to pack up a tank on a platform,
Right.
and then we have to pack the parachutes. Each parachute is about 1440 square meters, and we have 7 of the parachutes. And then it is extracted. The extractor parachute extracts the load out, but it's not easy to push a tank out. So it is extracted, and then it drops, and thereafter we put it into action, and then we do what we have to do with the tanks.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't introduce Sir to you all properly. He retired as the Army's head of military operations, and he was part of the lead elements of Operation Cactus at Maldives. And like he said, he also played a vital role in planning and execution. Okay, Shruti, I have another question for you. Did you as a child enjoy history? Is that what brought you to this book?
No, as a child, I didn't enjoy history much, uh, but as an adult, history fascinates me, and I have no idea why I didn't like history before.
I know, I agree with you. I think maybe it was just, I think these days, though, children really love history because there's like lovely books like this, which brings a totally different spin to things. So I don't have any correct answers for Dhoni's. Okay, so I'm just going to read out that bit to you guys about what it is. Somebody did say cricketer, so which was anticipated. Dhonis are small handcrafted boats. If you speak Kannada, Telugu, or any other South Indian languages, you would have recognized this word. Dhonis were sailboats, but now they are motorized. So let me give you another question, children. What is the Gajaraj we talked about? Answer that and you can win a copy of the book. Okay, till then we chat a little more to Shruti, the author, and to Lieutenant General Bhatia about it. Tell me, Shruti, did you learn anything new during your research of the book? Like, was there some fact that you didn't know about earlier that you discovered? Like, I know I discovered so many things.
Yes, almost everything uh, in the book was new to me. So it was an entirely a new learning experience. So, so I think the one that I was surprised I didn't know about were the ships. I thought I knew about the basic kinds of ships and everything, but when I started looking at it, studying it more deeply, I realized there's so many kinds of ships and, for that matter, aircraft uh,
Right.
out there, and also the kind of parachutes. I was studying parachutes. I was researching parachutes. There are so many kinds of parachutes. I thought, a parachute is a parachute.
Okay.
So,
Even I thought a parachute is a parachute. So I think I
yeah,
better go do some research.
in that way, every part, every bit of it was entirely new to me.
How lovely. How fascinating. Sir, coming to you, you had mentioned, by the way, sir, after I spoke to you, I had goosebumps and I was feeling so proud. I can't tell you, sir. It was an absolute delight. You had mentioned, sir, that the training you received, the attitude of your team, and the leadership, all of this contributes to a successful mission. Please elaborate a little here for our young audience, especially how these three qualities, training, attitude, and leadership, can help you in life.
Yeah, I think among this, attitude is the most important. Like I said earlier, you have to have a self belief that you can do what you want to do, what you need to do, what you have to do. Like I keep telling my grandchildren, uh, the motto is I can, I shall, I will. So if you have the attitude of I can, I shall, I will, you will be able to do what you want to do. No one in this world has got, you have all the power to do what you want to do. You have to work for it. So there's no shortcuts to work. Uh, the attitude is very important, and it has to a positive attitude. It has to a helpful attitude. You'll have to look at everything in a very positive manner. Today, life is, I'm an old man. We are not living a very good world behind for the children. It's a very complicated world. You have a screen time. The temptations are one too many. You need to go out and play. You got to be physically fit. You got to be mentally fit. You got to be emotionally fit. You got to be medically fit. Especially nowadays, Corona is there, and you know what COVID can do to a lot of things. So attitude is very important in that. Next comes training. You'll have to train for it. You cannot just say, okay, I have the right attitude, but to get to a mission, to get to a goal, वो अर्जुन की तीर की आंख होती है ना, जैसे अर्जुन ने सिर्फ आंख ही देखी, तो वो वाला काम करना पड़ेगा. You will have to look at your training, what do you need to do for that. If you have a goal, I'm not talking of the army alone, anywhere. If you want to become a good doctor, you'll have to train for it. You'll have to develop the skills. If you want to become a good engineer, you'll have to do a lot of things. You got to become a good industrialist or entrepreneur, you'll have to work for it. So anywhere you want to excel, you want to do good, you will have to train yourself to that particular skill sets. You'll have to do a number of things. And the third thing is leadership. Leadership is very important. A leader is someone whom people follow willingly, voluntarily. So you emerge as a leader, and in adversities, in tough situations, in challenges, uh, you become a leader. As we say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So you have to be a leader in tough situations, emerge as a leader, and leaders have to take decisions. And you have to take decisions. You can be leader on the play field. You can leader in your class.
Right.
You can be leader in helping out people. You can leader at home to your younger siblings, to your cousins. So leadership is important, and it can be developed.
Lovely. That's wonderful here to hear, sir. Thank you so much. We have two winners for the Gajaraj question. We have both Sonia Bhatia and Jayashri KS. Both of you have won a book for your children. So thank you for answering that because the questions came absolutely at the same
No,
time.
no, Sonia Bhatia has to be disqualified because she is married to a paratrooper.
Okay.
She is my daughter-in-law.
Okay. Sonia, I'm sorry, I tried. Okay, so we'll disqualify her.
Her
That's
husband is a paratrooper like me, so she's disqualified.
okay. So I have one more question, and Sonia ji, please don't answer. Okay. Now, sir said paratrooper. What does the word para stand for? Quickly type and send me, because you can still win another book, that means. Quickly type. What is the word para? We've been talking about it. What does it stand for? So quickly tell us for what we said that, right? And now don't go away, because we have a very, very exciting part of this Facebook Live. We have Mukti. Mukti is our team member, and she's a passionate storyteller, and she's a self-confessed drama queen, as she says. And Mukti Auntie, as the kids call her, is going to do a dramatic storytelling from this book, India to the Rescue. And there we have Mukti. So if y'all are ready to hear this, children, sit down. Hi, Mukti. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you, Upasna. So this is a very, very interesting book, and I'm going to do a short storytelling for you. And I look like who? I look like, hopefully, one of the paratroopers, sir. I hope I'm not doing too much injustice to it. Okay, so the book starts on the 3rd of November, 1988. This is Malé in Maldives. It was just before dawn. All was quiet in Malé, the capital city of the Maldives. But scary things were afoot. In the dark, a large ship had quietly sailed close to the coast. 2 speedboats to the left of the ship whizzed through the waters and landed on the jetty. Moments later, dozens of men sprang out of the boats, machine guns in their hands. The shadowy figures swept through the city. They headed towards the government buildings and took positions. And then it began. Tush, 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 rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. Oh my God. The machine guns and the boom of the grenades shattered the silence of the dawn. Malé was under attack. At the presidential palace, President Mamoun Abdul Gayoom woke up with a jolt. In no time, his security team whisked him out of the palace and to a safe house. Only the most trusted people knew of its location. The president was safe for now. But what next? The Maldivians were outnumbered and outclassed. The country was in desperate need of help. SOS, SOS. Can US help? Can China help? No. Who can help? India can help. Our paratroopers, our army, our navy, we can help. So as we jump through the planning in the book, there's a lot of planning that happens. I come halfway through the book to give you another peek at what's happening. So at 9:48 a.m., the men in the aircraft who are on their way to Maldives, our paratroopers, they held their breaths as the Gajaraj, the IL, roared down the pitch dark runway and came to a stop. No time to lose. The aircraft had to be emptied out quickly. Why? Because the second aircraft had to land. We had 2 aircrafts that had gone. They lowered the ramp of the aircraft, and 150 men and 2 jeeps were out in a jiffy. Within 10 minutes, the first aircraft took off and the second one landed. The soldiers jumped out quickly, one after the other. They secured the ATC, the jetty, and the airfield. Hull was safe and in control of the Indian military. Yay! 1 phase down, 3 more to go. There were 3 more phases of planning. It had been 16 hours since the first SOS call for help had been received from Maldives. It was time for action. And what was the action? No, I'm not going to tell you anymore. You need to read this book to know what was the action after that. And it is amazing. Believe me, my 72-year-old father was hooked to the book. So it is not just for kids. It is for all of us to know what our armed forces have been doing. Thank you so much.
Mukti, that was lovely. Thank you so much. So, sir, I have an answer from Dipali Bhatia Gulati about para, and that meant parachute. Is that correct? Okay, great, great. So Dipali wins the book. We have two more very quick questions. Mukti is going to ask you right now. So are you
Yes.
stay tuned, children? Do you want to win the book or no? Answer. Let's go. Let's go. Come.
So this is a question for all of you, and I'm sure all of you can answer this really, really quick. What are the 3 branches of the Indian Armed Forces? Fastest finger first. Go for it, children. Go for it, everybody, even the adults. Please go ahead, answer the question, and you get a book as a prize.
Until then, I have a comment from Subhashini who says even her father-in-law enjoyed the book as well as her 13-year-old daughter. So really, there's nobody who's received and loved this, got this book that hasn't loved it. So okay, I have an answer from Adya Nagalia who says Navy, Army, Military. Yay, Adya, you win a copy of the book. Mukti, next question.
Okay, children, who has published this book? Cheat, 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 cheat.
Come. Anybody answers? Even Shikha answered correctly, Shikha, but I'm sorry, Adya beat you to it. But the book is available online. So, and I was just going to give out the answer, Mukti, inadvertently. Anybody who's published this book? Anyone? Okay, lovely. Anyone with answers? No, okay, maybe it'll come by the time we wrap up the entire session. So I hope you all enjoyed that, children, adults alike. And I would like to thank the author, Shruthi Rao, for joining us, for waking up early for us and joining us today. And we really appreciate it, Shruti. And sir, what can I say? Your stories were just wonderful. And thank you so much, sir, for joining us. It's really brought this book to life, if not anything else. And Mukti, what can we say? Everybody was so engrossed in your storytelling, they forgot to message me the winners' names. So thank you so much for that. Do stay tuned, everybody, to the Gurgaon Moms Facebook page and our website for a lot of updates that we keep giving you. I hope you're following us. And I was just waiting for the answer. It's Anshu Bhatia who has got it. It's brought to you by Juggernaut Books. And we'd like to thank Chikki as well as Divya from Juggernaut for bringing us this. It was a lovely, lovely book. And we so enjoyed having this Facebook Live. Stay safe, everybody. Stay at home and do get vaccinated. And this Facebook Live, I will definitely end with a Jai Hind. And thank you so much, sir. Really, really appreciate you. Make us proud, to say the least. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, and Jai Hind to everyone. Jai Hind.
Jai
Thank you so much.
Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Jai Hind.